Hi there, I'm Christine Barella, and I'm one of the hosts for the Central Women YouTube and podcast channel. And before we get started with the amazing conversation between Cassandra and Jo Ellen, I want to give a quick disclaimer. The camera was giving us a little bit of difficulty, and I noticed this when I was editing, and there's a slight blurring in and out, not too distracting, but I just wanted to let you know that we are aware of it, and we decided to air this episode anyway because it's simply amazing and chock full of great information, and we didn't want to delay it to 2026. So thank you for understanding, and I know that you will enjoy this amazing episode between Cassandra and Jo Ellen. Thank you so much for watching.
Welcome everyone, my name is Cassandra and this is the Women's Podcast and YouTube channel, and we have been talking about how we are, what God has created us to be, how we are created to be, and when that's happened in your life. And I'm here today with Jo Ellen. How are you?
I'm great.
Jo Ellen is in Kidsmin at Central with me. She is our admin. I don't know what we would do without you. Oh my goodness, you all. She is a blessing to everyone in our department. We love you so much.
I'm so glad. I love all of you.
Oh my gosh. But we're not here to talk about kids ministries. Don't worry about that. We are talking instead about, well, first tell me, you were going through life, and how did you discover what God had created you to do, how he created you?
Well, you know, it's been a process.
Yes,
right?
It is. Yeah.
So, I grew up in a Christian home, and I always said I would never go into ministry because that is what my family did.
Yes.
And I was pretty successful at that through college, and then had a rude awakening when God said, what I want you to do is teach. And I've always worked with children. I love working with children.
Yeah.
Somehow my stubborn brain did not want me to give in to that natural gifting and leading. And so I finally applied to be a teacher, was hired, and I worked as a teacher. And God just grew that into a children's ministry role in multiple churches that I've worked in over the years. And each thing, it's amazing how he does this, but each thing I did was building on the last thing.
Yeah.
And so I was learning new things, but still applying what I'd learned already. And then I had a major burnout. And that burnout is what made me question, what is my purpose? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting how God works because he uses those failures and those hard times.
Yes, he does.
As turning points for us if we allow ourselves to be turned, right? And it was a deep time of surrender and healing for me. And as a result of all of that, again, he drew me to develop a curriculum to train leaders of kids all around the world, really, how to value children. And that's what I now do. I formed a nonprofit about 10 years ago. And I now get to travel all over the world and train leaders of kids.
That's
and
amazing.
It is the most rewarding thing, but I'll tell you, it took every piece of my story to be at the place where I feel like I'm doing my life's work now and what he created me to do.
When you're going through that and wrestling with God through that and trying to figure it out, how did this idea, how did this emerge? And how did you know that how did you know that this really is where the Lord is leading you?
Well, it's kind of trial and error.
Yeah.
Some of it is gut. Some of it is trusting your gut.
Yeah.
Some of it is trying something and failing and being willing to try again.
Yeah.
I went through a time or a season of counseling as I went through my burnout, and part of what the counselor really stressed to me is just because you fail once does not mean that God is slamming the door shut.
Okay. I think everyone needs to hear that. So we're going to take a beat.
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
Sure.
I want everyone to hear what you just said.
Just because you fail once or twice or 3 times does not mean that God is slamming the door on what he has given you the dream to do, really. And really surrender, and letting him lead and move. I have people who say to me now, this ministry is amazing, and the things that you're doing. You get to travel all over the world and train these leaders, and everything's just fallen into place. And the reality is that it's taken 10 plus years of very hard work.
Right.
And a lot of ups and downs and moments when I really wasn't always sure.
Yeah.
Right? But as I continued to put one step in front of the other and move forward, those moments when I really felt like I was ready to just let it all go and give up, something would happen that would encourage me to continue. Yeah. So I allowed myself to just embrace those moments, prayed through all of it. It's all God's anyway, and He has continued to just bless the work. So I'm just grateful. I'm blessed to be able to do it.
And what just keeps you going? Like how?
Well,
because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and
it's a nonprofit. You're not like making
Yeah, I don't work at Central as the admin for the kids ministry because it's like my life's passion to do that.
But you're
I'm grateful. Thank you.
We are grateful too.
I am grateful for the opportunity. It helps supplement my income, and I do know a lot about children's ministry, and I am administrative by nature. So it was a win-win for me to be able to do that, and I'm grateful that Central's very flexible with me on my schedule, and I've earned a lot of time off because of all of my years in ministry. I honestly just think that what keeps me going is total and complete surrender every day to what God's will is for that day. Yeah. And as I get up, I spend time in His Word every morning. And I pray and talk to Him all the time. That pray without ceasing, I never really understood that until a few years back when I thought, this is just a conversation with God.
You're just talking to Him all day throughout the day.
You're talking to Him, you're listening for Him.
Yes.
He speaks to us in different ways. He speaks to us through Scripture. He speaks to us through other people. He speaks to us through circumstances. He speaks to us through our gut. He speaks to us through His Word. He speaks to us lots of ways. So it's really paying attention to how He's speaking, listening. I've discovered sitting in solitude. I don't do that well. I'm a pretty fast-paced person. I'm a go-getter. I like to just get things done. And really learning how to sit back and just sit in solitude and do nothing. Just sit and listen and be peaceful and quiet. No music, no phone, no TV, no other people. Just solitude. God speaks in those moments.
Yes. I do that with a friend of mine. We'll just get together to keep each other accountable, and we'll go to separate rooms, and we call it listening prayer. Yeah. And she'll set a timer, and it's just complete. We just in our own space, just listening. Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah. There was a book years ago called Strengthening the Soul of Your Leadership by Ruth Haley Barton. Read that book, and it just changed my whole idea of what it means to really strengthen your soul spiritually. What that looks like, because we have to exercise that.
Yes.
It's not like it just happens all of a sudden, right? It's intentional that we are spending time with God and we are growing and learning and maturing, just like our bodies need to be taken care of as they develop and grow and mature. Our souls need that as well. So anyway, it changed my life, and so I've built solitude and other spiritual disciplines into my life, and they just keep me going on this path of surrender to what God's will is for every single day.
Well, I feel like, at least in my journey, and in what I've heard in other people's journeys, that there's always something new to learn. There's always something to grow in. There's always something out there. Yes. So when all this happened and you realized, oh, God created me to start this nonprofit, Impact Forever, and to do this, were there things at the same time you had to let go of that you were not created to do, but you wanted to do?
Yes, and there are some of those things are tangible things, and some of those things are mindsets. So I'm a perfectionist, so letting go of my ideas of what that needed to look like or how to move forward, that was life-changing and a little frustrating for me. Because everything doesn't fall into place all of a sudden. You know, they're puzzle pieces, and one at a time they're put into place. Tangible things, Yes, and it's also been a process or a journey. You know, this is what God always says to me.
Yeah.
I'm good at trying to kick open the doors he's shutting and pull shut the doors he's opening. So just making sure that I am allowing myself to work through the process of him saying, this is what I have for you now.
Right.
So I had a job that I was working. I ended up quitting that job. I didn't quit it right away. I was ready to quit it right away. And it was a job I loved.
Yeah.
But I didn't quit it right away because that really wasn't what he was leading me to do. It was a process. And then our family's been through several moves over the past few years.
Yeah.
We planned to stay in the same church all of our lives, and God had other plans. And so my husband is a pastor on staff, and so I have a pastor's wife responsibility. And so there are things when you go to a new church that you need to do in developing relationships, and you understand all of this.
Yes, I do.
So, you know, those things can rob you of attention on something you maybe want to focus on more, such as I wanted to focus on Impact Forever. That was my project. I was ready to do it, right? And God said, wait a second, one step at a time. I have this I need you to work on. I have this I need you to work on. Totally unrelated to Impact Forever. So I'm really grateful for those things because that's how relationships grow.
Right.
That's also how you're spiritually growing outside of even the mission he has you on specifically, right? So I'm grateful for those things, but it does require some sacrifice and some stepping back outside of yourself and saying, okay, God, what do you want in this situation?
Right.
What do I need to hold on to? What do I need to let go of? And trust that you're in the middle of all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want you to share, because we haven't had a chance yet, I want you to share exactly what is Impact Forever? What is it that's...
So Impact Forever is a nonprofit organization that we travel and we do trainings for leaders of kids. And ultimately the purpose of it is training leaders to value themselves and then the children that they lead. So these leaders are parents, teachers, social workers, counselors, administrators, church workers, and you can add any other role that a parent or that a leader has over a child, and we've had those types of people at our trainings. I did work in a missions department at my church for several years, a long time ago, and through that role, you know, I said earlier that God has just opened doors because each thing I've done has led to open doors for the next thing. I built so many relationships with individuals, both local individuals, like within certain cultures, and then also people who serve as missionaries around the world. And because I have built these relationships, I now am able to say, hey, is this training something that would benefit you in your community? And the answer almost always is yes. And so my bigger issue is not doing more than 3 or 4 trips a year because they are about 2 weeks long each, and I'm still working at Central.
Yes.
I still have a family at home, and I still have responsibilities. I have a husband at home, you know, so these things are important.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to throw all that to the side and just focus on Impact Forever. So we do these trainings, but now I'm you know, to the point that I recruit leaders to go with me. Cassandra's considering going. I'm so grateful for that. But we have to space out these trips so that we are still able to do the things that we have to do within our own culture, our own country, right? So, so we do these these trainings for leaders, and then we follow up with them through the host that we have within each country. And often we come back to do a second training, and that allows us to not only help those who've already taken it freshen up on what they learned, because it's usually 2 years.
It's a lot
or
of
so.
information.
It's a lot of information.
How long is it normally? Like a normal?
If there's no translation involved, so if we go to a place where we're presenting in English, it takes 2 days for the training. So it's 2 8-hour
But
days.
you go to lots of places where there is translation involved.
Correct. So then it takes 3 days.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So that would be a 3-day training, and then we'll go back. Usually within 2 years, we'll go back for a second training. Often, there's either been enough turnover in that part of the world with those who are leading the kids, schools or churches or other organizations, counseling centers, that we have a brand new audience, or there are people who have a refresher alongside people who are brand new to the organization. So each training is different and fresh. We tailor each one for the culture we're in. So the curriculum itself is just human nature principles, how we all learn differently, or what the multiple intelligences are, and what the love languages are, what it means to truly discipline in appropriate ways, the difference between punishments and consequences, those types of things. And so those are human nature ideas and principles, but the reality is that the way each culture applies them can be different. So we are never going in to say, hey, this is the way you need to do this. We say at the very beginning of each training, regardless of the culture we're in, which, by the way, we do them in the U.S. as well. We say at the very beginning of each training, please take these principles and apply them within your own culture. And then if they have questions how to do that, those are not for us to answer. That is for them to answer. So it is extremely rewarding. I'm so blessed to do it all.
Well, I love it. I love hearing your stories every time you come back. I'm super jealous every time I'm not going, and she comes back with all these stories and these pictures and the people you met, but the impact that you are having around the world for kids, really, is just incredible, and that God created you to do this one thing, and it's so purposeful, and I just see God working through it all the time.
Well, we just celebrated over 1,000 leaders we've trained in the past 10 years. So
I just love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting, and we generally say each leader represents 10 children. So that's over 10,000 children. The curriculum, by the way, is based on Jesus as a leadership role model. So it's just a really special thing. It's not always done for people who believe in Jesus, but Jesus is always talked about and discussed and shown as the perfect role model. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. If you guys want to learn more about Impact Forever, you can go to the Impact Forever website,
www.impactforever.org.
There you go. And get all the information. I'm sure Jo Ellen would love to answer your questions.
Absolutely.
I love the organization. I'm excited to go on a trip.
Me
next
too.
year.
Me too.
It's gonna be
Me
great.
too.
Thank you all for watching today. Go ahead and and if you haven't subscribed, share this with your friends, and we'll be back next week with some more. I can't wait. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.